Good morning, sir. Welcome. Sir, you are on mute as of now.
Yeah. Sorry. There was some internet glitch which I was sorting for a time like that. Yeah, please. I'm
Welcome.
audible now, na?
Yes, yes, clearly audible.
Done.
Prince can have a couple of minutes of. Uh,
Sure. Done.
Good morning, Vinkesh sir. Welcome again, and good
Thank
to
you.
have you again. It's always a pleasure listening to you on auto sector updates. Always helpful directly from. You get in touch with the people who buy vehicles and the industry experts, and the kind of profile you carry. We sincerely believe that we always get a great value addition from your end. So,
Thank
Manthan and Kaustubh, we can maybe start with the introduction, and then we can have a Q&A session. And for our audience also, again, the idea is not to talk about any companies in particular, but broadly what the sector looks like, the ancillary space of the sector look likes, and definitely some technical questions will be answered. But if you have any specific question to any particular company, so we might not be in a position to give a clear answer. But again, the kind of business the company is into, some sense we might share, and that again is prerogative of sir whether he likes to take that question or not. Yeah, Kaustav and Manthan, over to you guys.
sure. So let me first have a good introduction of Vinkesh, sir. So he is a visionary leader in the automotive and education sectors. Has been a chairperson of Automotive Skills Development Council of India, which is also called AHDC. Was a governing council member, executive committee member of the Federation of Automobile Dealer Association, which is the acronym is FADA. He was the serving president from 2020 to 2022, in which there were many firsts for the association. Senior vice president, United Group of Institutions, United University and United Medicity. Also a director in United Automobiles. So he's a seasoned business strategist and automobile enthusiast. Holds multiple leadership positions, as I mentioned, that underscore his wide-ranging expertise and influence. With a background in law, complemented with masters in management, Vinkesh sir has made a significant impact in both the sectors that we mentioned. Also, really proud to announce his recognition. In fact, okay, very rarely you come across one person getting so many recognition. So he's been a ETA inspiring Indian, iconic leader in the automotive sector, outstanding leader of the year in the automotive sector, India's Top Minds Award for Education and Automobiles, Outlook Business Award for Global Business Award 2022, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Inspirational Award 2023. So, with this short introduction, let us dive into the subject matter. So, sir, first of all, the good part is automotive. This is a bit about Alphawealth. So,
Yes.
Alphawealth, we are a research focused firm. And of course, getting into the depth of sectors as far as how they operate, where are the value chains, and which are the various players and themes. That is something that we like to work on. And hence, it is a pleasure to have you here because we don't look at the surface level. We really like to understand the dynamics of an industry inside out. And from
Okay.
that angle, it is a pleasure to have you. So,
Great.
do you want to have any have a some discussion from your side about the trends, or should we start asking you the broader level of questions?
Whatever you want, because the calendar year is ended. If you want me to give some idea about general, I can start with that, or I can start with the questions also. Whatever suits you.
Yeah, so we can have a short update on the calendar year as you mentioned, and then we are of course brimming with lots of questions.
Great. So, hi everybody. Thanks for taking out time on Sunday for me. And the auto sector clearly shows how much you are interested in that, maybe as a passion or an investor. Welcome to the show. And I'm thankful to the team to call again and again me in your show, which means I also get benefit because of the questions and prepared about how people are thinking about auto. So, coming back to the basic score. Uh, the calendar year when it started, we didn't had lot of positivity. We thought it will be somewhere 0 to 5% growth, and even SIAM gave a 0 to 3% growth in dispatches. One caveat: whenever I'm talking about if I'm not talking about specifically dispatches, it means the registration numbers what FADA is normally showing, which is the end reality. So vehicle dispatch to the dealers is normally not sale, but it is termed as sale in the market. So whenever I'm not saying dispatch, it is means it's actually registration. So coming back to the point, but the GST thing really made the thing overturn. A small example for a company like Maruti, where the quarter four growth had been 21%, which means October, November, December, which is post GST, because the entry level car market got a very big jump because of the GST thing. Why I'm specifically taking Maruti, because there are entry level players and their annual growth is just 9%, but the quarter four growth is 21%, which is clearly indication how GST has benefited the entry level. And Maruti had gone out by giving extra discounts or extra price cut on products which are below 5 lakh. So today we have four products of Maruti which are below 5 lakh, which we couldn't have dreamt of after 2000, after BS4, BS6 shift and the regulation changes. So overall, GST has supported us a lot. The car industry in the registration part has grown by 10%. Dispatches has grown by 5%, which clearly shows that the inventory level has improved. And if I talk about two-wheeler also, there is a good jump in sales. So we did last year some 18 lakh, 1 crore 89 lakhs figures, and this time it has touched 203, which is clearly showing there is a 7-8% growth. And normally it's too early. The data stabilizes in another 2-3 days. Similarly, all the other, because these are the two products where GST cut could show the difference. The commercial vehicle and the tractor didn't show such a big response on the GST cut, because those are more commercially related. So it's more on business or more on economies of earning they get. But two-wheelers and cars are one segment where you actually it's a personal game, and depending on the market scenario, we see about that how things are going on. Coming specifically on the electric vehicle front, the biggest game changer had been in the car segment, where we had seen around 188% growth. No doubt, 188 is just 88% growth, which is just a nominal figure, because there had been a lot of new players who had joined in 2025. So we had done some below 1,90,000 in 2024. This time it has touched 170. And the major three players which have joined the bandwagon is VinFast, Tesla, and Mahindra also. So Mahindra had 400 before, but the Mahindra meal, which we say electric mobility sector, which launched these BS6, B6 and 9E, started this year only from January. And they have really added. So VinFast was some around 900 figure. Tesla was around 226, and the meal had been something like 30,000 figure in 1 year only. And this is a huge number for a company which has just started actually into EV, because 400 was a step through. Now they are, so still Tata is number one in electric vehicle bar with some 65,000 numbers, and then second is JSW with 50,000, and then Mahindra is there, and all the other companies follow up. So one thing what we are looking ahead is EV growth to continue at least high double digit, because Maruti EV Tara is going to be launched, and Hyundai is now rethinking on launching e-Creta, which will give the numbers. There are other OEMs which are coming up with electric vehicles and doing great. One analysis which this year we could think of and wasn't great, but it happened, is the premium cars, more than 30 lakh EV cars didn't click. And that is where the challenge is, because Mercedes, Audi, BMW all came with very good EVs. But that segment started with a boom, but couldn't see the numbers. So if I talk about BMW did some 3,000 all uh, annual number, which is not much the way they had come in the market. Mercedes did some 1,100 or 1,200 numbers, which is not good. Whereas we expected that the kind of product they had, the good range and all that, that will really make a difference in the market. Mm, Overall, you already read in the car segment, Maruti is still going on number one, but the market share hasn't been good. So they are doing some 38% uh, market share. Second is now Mahindra. No doubt Mahindra, Tata, Hyundai are neck to neck, but at least annually Mahindra is above Tata and Hyundai, and third is Tata. So Tata and Hyundai going on. We are still to come up with the data, which will come from FADA in another 2-3 days. You will get the exact figure, but that's how things are going on. Overall market is positive still. We are on the ground. We are still seeing good tandem due to the GST cut and all those things. So we are positive that we'll be able to uh, take this further going ahead. And um, uh, it's positive for the coming year also. But overall, two-wheeler segment is also doing good. Car is also doing good. Commercial is a bit of challenge on the tractor and CV also. I don't see any decline happening, but I don't see any major growth happening in the coming segment. If you have given small input, please continue on whatever.
Yeah, great, great. So that was a good review of the year gone by, and of course, whoever wanted to know more precisely that where the GST cuts have actually helped. So that was good. So barring the last quarter, now just looking at so this is a question, but first I'll just set the context. So post-COVID, there has been a premiumization theme happening in the car segment. Okay.
Yep.
So generally, we speak nowadays about post and pre-COVID. So just referring to the past few years as post-COVID. However, the entry-level cars, bikes, the demand has been stagnant. So as I said, barring the last couple of months where the GST thing has spurred the entry level as well, let's look at overall. And the premium cars are growing in double digits. Okay, cars, SUVs, etc. Mahindra and Tata have been front runners to capture this trend among the Indian companies, and mostly they have done well. Now, just wanted to understand from you that this segment, now earlier there was a seven-seater SUV and a five-seater SUV. So there you can say, a seven-seater can be Innova or a Fortuner. And then in the five-seater, you had mainly Creta, which was doing well over many years. And now there is a pre-Creta category where there is a Venue, Sonnet, XUV 300. Now what we see is now everybody is also targeting those segments. Okay. So just wanted to understand from the supply side, planning side, design side, how do the OEMs handle this? Okay. So for example, let's say just to take a live example, Creta has been one of the top selling SUVs, okay, or since its launch in 14-15. Okay. And now we see that there are many coming in that segment. Similarly, now you have this segment which can be considered XUV 700, maybe the Harrier, etc., which are again now multiple launches are happening, being announced. So how does this work at the OEM level? Where do they really make a difference on the design level to be able to participate, or are there other operational service factors also involved? So over to you.
See, it's a very uh, this question has a lot of points to answer. Overall, as of now, the market is surely going towards SUV side. Uh, I am not, I'm not getting into that sector where you say what the definition of SUV, but anything which has a good ground clearance is now today termed as an SUV, which shouldn't be a right segment, but it is what it is today. So, like a vehicle like Venue, which is still a small hatchback, but still termed as SUV because of the height and a bit of the shape of the vehicle. So slowly and steadily, what is happening in India that with the roads going good, which means NH and the state, but still the city roads and the rural roads are not as compared to how the highways are. So the customers are still wanting a vehicle which has a high ground clearance, and that is why the SUV segment is growing, and that is why you see all the OEMs increasing the ground clearance. The product is not changing, but they are increasing clearance so that the customer is able to use that factor. So you get that benefit on the thing. So overall, when a OEM plans, so it's very difficult to plan for any which uh, where there is already a very big competition. They have to plan something which is a you can say a differentiator way. So as of today, you have a lot of products in compact SUV. You have a lot of products in the actual SUVs and even MUVs. So somewhere the seven seaters are called MUVs also. But like 700 has a seven seater, that is still not that's still called an SUV. Fortuner is an SUV, but Innova comes under MUV. So these are all differentiation to understand. But if I talk from the OEM and the customer side, the customer is more bothered on what he wants and what he's getting. So like if you talk of a Kia, Kia has a seven seater Clavis, I feel, and it's in EV and it's doing good. No doubt the numbers are less when you talk about volume, but there are some set of customers who are liking it. If you see Maruti Ertiga doing good, so there are some products of seven seater but a smaller size vehicle, and they are doing really great because that's the demand for that segment. Overall, when an OEM starts planning, so the concept is what is the customer wanting, and as of today, customer is clearly wanting a high ground clearance vehicle which has good space inside. You can divide it in five seater, seven seater, because at times customers come to us that they want a five seater 700. Why? Because they don't need a seven seater. They don't want to pay for that extra seat, two seats, and it will benefit them if the price is less. But whereas there is no price difference in five seater and seven seater in 700, much to make a difference. So coming further now, on the training part, on the supplier part, it doesn't make a difference if it is a five seater or a seven seater, because if it's an actual SUV, the sizes are more important than five seater or seven seater. But if it's in a compact SUV, obviously it is more of a five seater, and that is where the demand is major. As of today, there are a lot of nuclear family coming in. The joint family concept is going out, so that is why five seater demand is growing. OEMs are trying to revive that seven seater demand again by, as you said, Harrier 700. Mahindra is coming up with a 9S, the first ever SUV electric vehicle with seven seater. And obviously the newer version of 700, which is 7XO, again a seven seater product, to again energize that segment, which is uh, not growing to the percentage they want. It is still growing. I'm not saying it is not growing, but it not as per the expectation what they have. So the seven-seater segment will continue because we still have a rural belt customer who wants a seven-seater because his regular use is not a car, but whenever he wants to use it, it's the full family or friends and all that thing. Seven-seater will still continue because uh, at time people want a single car to use for city and highways also. So if anybody is going once a month out for traveling or holiday, they really want a seven seater because it gives them space for one luggage. Obviously, there is more people in. So you'll see a lot of interest coming in seven seater in the coming year. No doubt, compact whatever products we have, you will see a lot of refresh also coming in because something new a customer wants regularly. But from the dealer side, from the supplier side, from the OEM side, if it's a five seater or it's seven seater, it doesn't make a difference. The same product can be redesigned if the size permits so. So like when new 3XO Sonet can't be made a 700, but a product which is defined like that it can be made. So if it can accommodate seven seat, five seater can be made then and there. But For the past post-COVID, we have seen a lot of five-seater getting tandem slowly and steadily, not in the same percentage, but seven-seater is also coming back.
Right, right. So my question also centers around that if a OEM today, okay, has two, let's take two cases of OEMs.
Yeah.
One which already has a entrenched model in a red ocean segment, where now there are 7, 8 competitor designs, okay, and also one who is going to launch there. So the question was, what all things can a OEM target? Is it going to be a beautiful design plus four things, or the design, or the dealer network? So we just wanted to understand what gives the right to win in a very competitive category to an OEM.
So first, dealer comes the last, very frankly, because every OEM, when they design a product, their mind is where the segment is and what is the niche what they want to create. So they want to go into mass or they want to make a niche or something. So like talk about Skoda. Skoda wasn't doing good. One product made them the growth what they are getting. And they entered the market which is already crowded. So one, Indian customers are very happy to try new products. They want something new. So when you design for a product, the first thing which comes in their mind is obviously the cost they will put in their product and what the return they'll get in numbers and value later. That is comes first, which luckily in SUV and compact SUV, both OEMs find it enticing to enter. So that is there. Second, looks is one thing which today can't be avoided. Every product which is newly launched, if you see, is launched a better looking than before. No doubt there are customer choices which they don't like. Like what's happened to the Santro. It was a shoebox design and nobody liked it, but slowly and steadily it took over. So like things, design is one which is can be good for you, cannot be good for me. So every customer has their own view. But luckily for the past, again, post-COVID, all the products whichever has been launched has done decently well. There had been very good product launches which has really shaked the market, but others also have. So design is one thing which is now given. Without a good design, you can't have that acceptance from the customer. Coming on the features part, if I'm not talking of any product which is below 10 lakh, and if it doesn't have good features, people will not buy it. So if a product is 15 to 30 lakhs, you have to give the features what Audi, BMW and Mercedes give. With Seltos coming by Kia, where they launched all the features. So I should thank Kia for making Indian customer want for features more and ask, forcing the other OEMs to give features. So today, uh, Mahindra 9SB is being launched with ventilated seats, all four. So first row and second row both, which is as of today present in only very few premium cars also, luxury premium also, very few, but they are coming up with it. So today features have become a must. No doubt the products which come in with the variant, it starts lower where the features are less and it goes up to top. And all the product launches now see at least uh, 6, 7 variants, and then in that variants another 6, 7 options, and then that in color option. So nothing comes below 50 to 100 matrix of product codes whenever today the product is being launched, because customer has become very, very choosy. They are wanting their kind of feature and their kind of price. So I'll give you a small example. I'm a Mahindra dealer, so I'm giving more examples of Mahindra. So Scorpio N was doing great. We had a luxury 8 Z8 model, and then slowly customers started asking, why should I pay for ADAS? And Mahindra then came up with a Z8T without an ADAS. Then it came up with a Z8S with some more feature less, which customers didn't find. So I'll say not a lot of customers find advantage to pay money for. So now Scorpio N top model has three variants, and in that three variants there are another three variants with where diesel, petrol, and then obviously with sunroof, without sunroof, and all that. So today the customer has become very, very demanding, and the OEMs are also positive on taking inputs and doing the changes. So whichever OEM is fast in accepting the customer's demand and launching the product, or I'll say launching a refresh for customer's demand, they are doing great, and you can really see it. So if you follow what Tata had done post COVID, they really launched good products and the production were good. They went up. Recently, their refreshes are coming late, and now their numbers are going down. So you see Mahindra. Uh, Initially, not very good product launch was happening post COVID in the first 2 years, and the day they launched some good product, no doubt Thar was a good product, but I'm saying not the full range. The day they started launching different variant, different products, you see the numbers going to 50,000. So a customer has become very choosy, and looks is first thing they see and the features second. I currently today on the ground, I don't see customers which are buying 10 lakh plus cars, which is premiumized more, asking for features, asking for safety. Because, oh, sorry, not asking for features, asking for fuel average, asking for safety. Uh, these are, they have taken it that it is what it is. And this is given that that is good. So like safety, now everybody expect that it should be at least 4 or 5, and it is given. So nobody is asking today. Fuel average, if it is not below 10 lakh, nobody is today bothered. They do ask casually, but they'll not make a decision change because an Innova has a fuel average of maybe 15, 16, and then a Scorpio has a 10 to 15. I'll not buy a Scorpio. If they like a Scorpio, they'll buy a Scorpio even with less efficiency. So customer choices are changing and OEMs have to adapt with that. So if you see pre-COVID, there would be what, 3, 4, 5 launches annually, or maybe max 10. Today, any year it's actually 20. Maybe a not a new product launch. There could be refreshes. And 20 is also less what I am saying. There could be, if I count on refreshes and a small things, there would be more than 30 product launches in the car segment only. And that is creating the hype and the customers to buy it.
Got it. Many pertinent points to understand how OEMs are trying to crack the code. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, then next thing is now in the last 5, 6 years or maybe even 10 years, this going toward the SUV trend has already set in, and it is not reversible. But that may not mean that the OEMs wouldn't think about what to do with entry level cars and sedans. Okay, which typically are a bit stagnant. So generally, how does the industry approach? Would they try to revive these segments, or suppose the SUVs have giving more profitability? Okay, everybody will go all in on that if it were a casino.
See, I feel the decision is not to revive a market or not, or revive a segment or not. Decision starts with production capacity. So if a company has a production capacity of 50,000 and the products they are making are 50,000 are being sold without any problem regularly, they won't bother about any segment or not, because whatever they are making is being sold. So it's actually a demand supply story. So see how Tata and Mahindra has been doing. So they had some 20,000 capacity pre-COVID, they increased 30,000, then 40,000, today 50,000, and they are continuing to encash the market. The day it happens, so like Hyundai today, they have a capacity of 50, 55,000. They don't have more than capacity, and see, Hyundai is stable for some time. They are not making the market very exciting about all that because they don't have the capacity. Now they are into a plant where they're now increasing the capacity, I feel, to 65,000. So this year they are wanting to launch the product. See, so basically, unless and until the ball starts from production capacity and your ability to increase that production. So as of today, not today, post-COVID, if you see, every major OEMs is increasing capacity. Kia was blocked at 18, 19. Now today they have a capacity over 23 or 24. You see their numbers coming to 21 and 22. They are wanting to go up to 30, 35. Like Mahindra is wanting to go up to 60. Hyundai 65. Maruti is in a process of setting up where they want to go up more than 2 lakh. So uh, they already are 2, so they want to more than 2. So everything starts with the production capacity and the demand of your current products. So if your production capacity is capped and your current products are in demand, where you are able to achieve the production, nobody bothers about it. The day they start bothering is when they start their production capacity. So as of today, uh, as per me, all the top 4 or 5 OEMs are in a process of increasing the production capacity, which means another 2, 3 months to an year, you will find at least average, at least per month, 50,000 production capacity being increased in the auto sector, in the car sector, which means you'll see a lot of things happening. Now they'll start thinking, does their current product can cover the additional product capacity or not? So if if a Creta is selling 16 and Hyundai increases the production capacity by 15,000, will this 16 go to 20 or not? Do they want a new product to cover that 15,000 per month, or their current product cycle, the models variant can increase or not? So, and normally 5 to 10% or 15% increase with the current models are easily possible, because when the production capacity is capped, even the OEM, even the dealers uh, become a bit of complacent. So they don't put their best foot forward to increase the market. So, like if you see what Maruti happened pre GST, the entry level market, the dealers and Maruti weren't very aggressive on the BTL or ATL activities. The day the price decreased, the dealers and even the manufacturer have gone out of the box to do activities to inspire the two-wheeler community and the used car community and the rural community to buy a vehicle. So that boils down to it. And this aggressiveness, I see it is starting slowly, but by the year end, you will see every OEM being very aggressive, and at least every OEM will enter one new product segment. Coming back to your point, entry level is a very tough market, because it needs huge economies of scale to reach that kind of price where the entry level segment customer wants. So, like if you remember, Quid came in, they were bleeding, but the price was right, the features were right, and the customers took off the shelf. The day they increased their price, thinking कि अब तो प्रोडक्ट मेरा एस्टैब्लिश हो चुका, इतना नंबर तो आएगा, जैसे ही प्राइस बढ़ा वो एंट्री लेवल से बाहर चला गया. So point is continuing. So Maruti has a very big advantage today in the market to make economical product. They today have a capacity of what, 2 lakh 10,000. It will go up to 250, 265 in a year or so. This kind of economies of scale, and plus their complexity of products are very less as compared to other OEMs. So you will find there are a lot of parts like doors and bonnets are interchangeable between many models, which creates an economies of scale. So one bonnet if is being used by 4 models, which means you don't have to create these pairs of stock, the R&D design, and the repairability of that. And then obviously it becomes cheaper for the customer also to maintain. So what benefit Maruti has as of today, no doubt 50, 60,000 per month people, what they are doing is also gives them a good economies of scale. But the kind of benefit Maruti has, nobody has today. And second, coming to your point, obviously, when you fight for entry level, your margins are less. And lately, if you see with Hyundai also coming up with an IPO and share market, you have to go to the market to prove that your shares are up. And good or bad, with the ESOP culture in the market, nobody thinks of reducing the profitability and get affected by share prices going down. Because as of today, every OEM is professional driven, and the top bosses are sitting on huge ESOPs with them, and their value is also more important than what they have in hand by salary. So for that also, they don't want to come to, I'm not saying they don't want to enter into entry market, they do want to, but not at the current margins per product what entry market is allowing them to get.
Got it. Got it. I mean, this was really a comprehensive answer. Thanks for that.
Okay. So I was asking about the aging of the commercial vehicles.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
somewhere I was reading that the fleet is aging, maybe approaching 20 years on an average age, right? So how you see that? Will that help increase the demand in that segment, or you have a different reading for that?
As very frankly, these are numbers where we want to excite you to buy shares. This is the fact, matlab, don't mind it, but this is foolishness. In India, nobody can take your vehicle from you. There is no law. Even if it is a law, nobody will do that. Uh, the commercial vehicle, see, when the scrappage came in, the policy came in, they had to do mandatorily, which they couldn't because of the vote bank. And I don't see that is happening. So regulation is the only thing where scrappage can become huge. And in India, corruption is huge, so scrappage doesn't look like becoming good. But yes, there'll be states, there'll be cities which will help you out in it. There'll be benefits which will help you out in it. So, like I'll tell you, now go to any premium car dealership, you'll find people wanting the COD, which is the certificate of scrappage. COD is certificate of destruction or something, because they get a benefit from the OEM and the RTO office also for it. So that is where people will be finding vehicles which are stranded somewhere, even in private or even in commercial. But if you see the numbers of commercial vehicle which are more than maybe 10 years or 15 years and should be scrapped, you will never see the numbers happening on the ground today, because the implementation or the team uh, whose duty is it to find out those vehicles and get it scrapped is not interested to do that, and uh, we voluntarily won't do it. We'll find people. So, not quoting anywhere, my son has a 17-year Merc, which was a six-cylinder at that time, 2400, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's not wanting to sell it. He's just keeping it. And he drives in the night. And he's putting in 1 lakh per year to just make it run. And that too for just a craze. Ki today, the vehicles are not as good as what it was there 15, 16 years back. So there are a lot of craze. People keep 30 years. I still have customers who have Maruti 800, the first lot of Maruti 800, which are running. I still have people, my team members, who are running on Tata Nano. So India, normally these numbers doesn't make sense. So what makes sense is, will they be able to drive that vehicle and get benefit out of it? Traffic police, government imposition will improve things in obviously Delhi, because Delhi is very tight on that. You'll see things changing in Maharashtra also, starting with Bombay, because High Court has ordered the Maharashtra government and transport secretary to work on it. Another 1 year down the line, you will see major vehicles being scrapped. But it doesn't mean that the if I have a scope of 100 vehicle, so there'll be only 10 will be scrapped. 90 will find their way to tier 2, tier 3 towns where they'll be used for uh, things which are cheaper. So yesterday only somebody was telling, I'm giving a lot of examples of car you can relate to.
Yeah.
Yesterday only somebody was telling that one sales consultant has bought a 16-year-old car at 50,000 rupees and running with it. And he knows where the police wala are standing. He doesn't go on those road and he's running that car. So we are Indians. We don't मतलब till that time वो जैसे ना नींबू का आखिरी रस तक नहीं निकाल लेंगे, we'll not throw that नींबू also. It's so unless and until government really, which means really. So I'm not talking about buses which are must to drive with a permit and fitness, but if I talk about and not even multi-axle trucks also, I'm talking about SCVs, LCVs, last mile mobility, where normally you won't find people needing a permit, needing a fitness, needing something. I feel there this problem will exist. So, talking about scrappage, talking about vehicle on road to replace for new is a very good thing to keep our what you say, our high momentum that auto is growing. Auto will see its growth on its own, not with this scrappage support or with this mandatory year support as of today, what I feel.
Right. Right. Yeah, Mr. Ashish Soni, you want to ask?
So when GDP grows, do you think the automobile sector will grow at least in the premium segment 10 lakhs plus faster compared to maybe in 3 to 5 years time?
So as per you, will the auto growth be equal to GDP growth? This is the question.
No, GDP per capita when it increases, do you think the premium segment will grow faster in next 3 to 5 years compared to like entry level?
Uh, I have my doubts today, but if you would have asked me pre-GST, I would have said yes. I'm seeing entry level growth for another 3 to 6 months. So if you talk about years, you are right. But maybe this year, I don't know how Maruti will take this further. If they take this like this with the kind of price decrease they have taken, even after GST cut, if they continue with that, the entry level will see some growth happening. And but this will subside in another 3 to 6 months, and then what you are saying will be right. Premium segment, or lots of premium segment, products with premium features, the top models, and I'll say middle and top model will see more sale than the entry level sales happening. One thing you should consider, why I'm again and again talking about Maruti, because when this GST happened, I don't have the privy to what exact knowledge on that, but the Maruti dealers were shown a story about Japan, where some in 1974 something happened because of which the car industry grew by 20-30%, 20, sorry, double. I don't remember what was that. And they said that GST cut in India is similar, and Maruti will not go below 2 lakh per month from today. And that time they were doing 1.48 or 1.5, which is a very big statement. And if they are able to do that, I don't see others growing at the same rate what Maruti is thinking to grow. But I don't see it lasting long. So this year maybe Maruti story, if if it is right, you may see entry level growing more than the other segment. But down the line, with the GDP growing, you will see premium cars going more.
And last question on the engine type, do you think because abroad it's like it was supposed to be EV more and then it became hybrid. So where do you see, at least on the engine side, India settling? I know CNG is still a lot of infrastructure is not there. EV infrastructure is being built. So where do you see engine wise where we and the passenger vehicles especially?
Ashish ji, very difficult question. I'll give you some pre-information. You remember Maruti went out of diesel. Everybody said diesel is going out. Then we saw our Nitin Gadkari saying that diesel is a sin fuel and I'll close everything. But even today, Mahindra is growing with such a high percentage of diesel engine. And I'm seeing Kia, Hyundai, Tata again coming back to diesel, which they were moving out. So the Indian auto is growing at a very fast stage. 10% growth is not a normal growth for any industry as of today in auto world over, if I see. And this growth will continue. So CAGR, we are expecting some 5 to 7% growth. Maybe it will go down for a year or so. What I feel, EV percentage in India will surely grow. So like individually, Tata is already at somewhere around 15%. Mahindra is already at somewhere around 6 or 7%. So I'm talking about these two companies because these two companies are actually working on EV as of now. Maruti, Hyundai, Kia are just not as focused on that. And they are talking about 30% by 2030. Tata and Mahindra both. Now entering Tesla, VinFast, and e-Creta, e-Verito, we'll see major growth. But if I talk about 30% or overall industry 15-20% by 2030, which means that the industry's growth, whatever we are selling today, diesel and petrol volume, will remain stagnant till 2030 also. So which means 70% will still be CNG, petrol, and diesel. So, as per me, you cannot say that any fuel will be over. It's the Indian customer who will decide they want to buy a petrol, diesel, electric. So, you will have every fuel in the system, OEMs making it. If the customer stop buying a fuel or an engine, then only it will go out. Hybrid, I'm not positive because there are only two companies which have hybrid or which are interested in hybrid, and both are Japanese, which is Maruti and Toyota. Hyundai has an hybrid engine, but they are still not launching. Even if you go to the premium side, people who have launched hybrid, they are not very aggressive towards that. They are aggressive towards petrol, not on diesel, agreed, but they are not aggressive toward hybrid. So hybrid, whatever you see will happen from only Maruti and Toyota. Uh, People are shifting. So like Mahindra is not working towards hybrid, they are more working towards EV. So, and this all decision will be majorly based on CAFE norms and not CAFE and customer, not the OEM what they want. But as of today, if you want an SUV and if you want a real powerful SUV, diesel is the only choice. As you go towards petrol, the fuel economy goes to what 2, 3, 4, 5 level, which not all customers can afford. An average fuel efficiency of 10 is a given in market today. Whosoever is more wanting will go to Maruti or a hybrid Innova, but the price goes up. You have to pay what 15, 20 lakhs more than to get a hybrid product today in 7-seater. So overall, you will find all the engines working till 2030, 100%. EV is a different story abroad. Slowly and steadily, EV is losing the sheen abroad. And I don't see countries focusing more on electric vehicle future. They are focusing more on pollution with BS6. So like OBD1 came, BS6 2 came. I'm not hearing about lot about BS7, but I'm hearing lot about things tightening in BS6 where they want to control the specific item of pollutant what comes from the exhaust. So you'll continue seeing diesel, petrol. No doubt the ratio of diesel, petrol, and CNG may change 2, 3%, 5% up and down. But EV will grow going further. If I talk about
Right.
individual volumes, you will find at least stagnant, if not growing.
Right. Right.
Thanks, sir.
So, sir, next question that I have is around exports. Okay. So, because generally there is a feeling that export for any industry can be a sticky market if you crack it. The the margins can be high, etc., etc. There are many advantages related to that. So, for the Indian auto industry, so far, where are we as far as exports are concerned? Are we taken seriously? And where can the opportunities lie for which OEMs?
See, exports today is not an Indian market thing. It is more of a individual OEM decision. So like Suzuki based with Maruti and Toyota and Hyundai, Kia, Skoda, Volkswagen, Nissan. Everybody has a worldwide good presence. So slowly and steadily they have understood as of today that Indian products are easily acceptable abroad also. So pehle nahi tha. People were coming up with their products, launching in India, wanting the numbers. They understood Indian customer doesn't accept products being forced upon themselves until and unless it gives them some benefit. And you see a lot of companies now today make a product for India and export it. The biggest example is e-Vitara, what you are seeing. So Maruti is doing wonders. So I'll not talk about Indian companies, Tata and Mahindra, because they are exporting, but their numbers are not high. The Skoda Volkswagen brand, they thought of merging with somebody, then they thought of moving out. Finally, they have now slowly making India as an hub for export. So there is one part which is domestic, and the other part is bigger part which is export oriented. Today, if you see Renault Nissan, they are also doing the same. So numbers are less, but people have understood that India is a big hub for economies of scale if they launch a product. No doubt, you won't find 10 odd products being made in India. So, like Mercedes, they make one or two products in India which are even exported. The other 7, 8 products are totally being imported and being sold in India. So, depending on the numbers, what they have. So, export is one thing which you will really see going up in India from for the past an year or two, and it will really make a big difference. So, like when we talk about Maruti, they average do 2 lakh plus every month, but their domestic numbers are normally 150. This time it is 170 something. But what happens 150 is that, and 10, 12,000 goes to Toyota, and then the balance are being exported. Now, the Europe market, Maruti branded Toyota products are being exported from India and being sold. So you'll see this synergy. So when we were talking about that, the borders are not for trade, is slowly coming into system. And with the kind of push from Indian government on Make in India for global, and the kind of support they are giving with PLI and electric and all those things, you'll see a lot of things happening for the export also than domestic also.
Right. So what we heard was Maruti has a good foothold over there. Currently, Mahindra and Tata don't have much. And then there are certain global OEMs which are making India as the hub for export markets. Right.
You're right. You're right.
The last question in this segment, now moving on from passenger to the two-wheeler, three-wheelers. Okay. So two-wheelers again, the data seems to suggest that the two-wheelers also premiumization trend. So whether you talk about a Bajaj or a Hero, the higher CCs, you can say 150 and above, are doing well. Royal Enfield has been a classic, proud story. Okay, so no doubt everybody has studied, enjoyed that story, enjoyed the bikes, and many have had a good ride on the Sherpas also. So
Yeah.
if you look at this theme again, uh, so not so clear from the data what is happening to the regular bikes which are non-premium and non-higher end, and then of course on the premiumization side any specific understanding beyond what, from a, again, the supplier perspective, beyond what just numbers suggest.
See, what I look as of today is in the two-wheeler segment, I'm not talking about premium or non-premium, but overall, the two companies to look forward is RE and TVS. That I gave you last time also and this time also. They are really aggressive and they are really putting their best foot forward on working on it. HMSI is one company which I look forward to when they really focus on their EV trend. But being a Japanese company, that is a question. Uh, Bajaj and Hero, I feel both of them they lost their plot. Somewhere they have forgotten what Indian market is, or they are busy somewhere else. So, like if I talk about Hero, except for one engine which was a Honda engine way past, except that they have not been able to do something. Not to be quoted, they have actually killed Harley in India. So if they wouldn't have taken Harley, Harley would have been a great brand going on India. Now they are re-wanting to do Harley in India, which again with not a right approach. But that is where the hurt is. Harley is a great brand. They could have done wonders. And they wanted to enter the premium segment and they couldn't. Like TVS has really done wonders in the premium. So the entry level segment, like I told you, is very tough to crack because as of today, with the regulations, and if ABS has been extended today, luckily, but it will come sometime. With all those regulations, the price of entry level is going way above head. You can't buy a vehicle today, what below 80,000 today, as of now, which can be, which is a deterrent for a customer to enter a two-wheeler market, which has helped now use two-wheeler market to also grow. But it's not an organized player. It's an unorganized player, but that is also growing. So back, RE and TVS are both the companies which I look forward to for your investment. I don't know, has it, like you say, it has reached their epitome and they won't go up. I don't know. That's your story to see. Hero is slowly and steadily wanting to control the team. Their higher-ups are for the past 2, 3 years are not constant, and that is where the problem is. if they have a good leadership team, Hero still has a lot of capability to grow. But as of today, I'm not very confident. Bajaj is working. They've just launched a new product, but they are also not bothered. They are more bothered about their share market and the price per vehicle and three-wheelers and those export numbers, where they've lost focus today. And frankly, they are also not interested to come into entry level. Why? Because the margins are less and competition in entry level is not possible. It's very tough today to beat an Innova or a Hero Splendor. Sorry, not a Hero, a Splendor. Splendor is a bigger brand than Hero as of today in the market, in the rural market. Majorly the hinterlands of the India. And that is where the more entry level or 100cc are sold. So for two-wheeler, you will see more premiumization happening, more premium products being launched, and obviously RE benefiting because of that. Again, coming to back, TVS benefiting because TVS has slowly and steadily entered every segment of the market, and they are doing good everywhere. So they are not the bottom two or three in any segment, but they are not even the bottom one or two also. But they are doing good in every segment as a whole, as a company. If you talk about EV, they are not top three, but they are doing good numbers regularly. No shouting over the mouth that they are number one or two, but they are slowly and steadily. If you see how Apache has, I'll not say displaced Pulsar, but has given the competition to Pulsar. Nobody could have thought about 5 years back that Pulsar will have a competition by a brand like TVS, which people used to think was a cheaper or economical product or a poor man's bike or something like that. So overall, two-wheeler is still the same how it is going, but uh, with the kind of the growth happening in the rural, the Bharat now coming back slowly, already leveled up, and the rural versus urban sale ratio also improving. So rural improving as a sale. I am hopeful that two-wheeler market will continue to grow. Uh, Hoping that this year at least we'll see the best ever two-wheeler market because we haven't still reached the best ever pre-COVID numbers today. Don't remember
Okay.
that this year
Okay.
numbers, but still, but this year hopeful things will do positive in two-wheeler.
Great, great. So this next leg of discussion, Manthan will have with you, who is the co-founder with me. So Manthan,
Yeah.
over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kaustubh. So as we were discussing two-wheeler industry itself, sir, so Vinkesh, sir, any thoughts on Ola and Ether, like how these are going in and the quality of the product that you want to see here?
Bus Ather is, I feel, the best technological two-wheeler EV in market today. Uh, but the problem is they are working like a luxury premium in electric vehicle two-wheeler. They're not bothered about the entry level a lot. They do try sometimes here and there, but they are not able to compete that. So if you want to uh, think Ather is really a long run company with a very good technically backup product and a very sound product. So you will see very less customer complaints happening from Ather. You will even see Bajaj Chetak having a problem, but no doubt Bajaj is handling it well. But uh, overall, Ola, tough to give any comment on. Very tough because I don't think so. Even he has answer to what your question about because not sure what they want to do. Uh, uh, Basically, initially, I had a big spat when I was a president, but they were wanting to launch only, not launch any showrooms, only service centers. Then, seeing the fiasco, they launched the experience centers. Now, seeing the fiasco, they launch more service centers. Now, I'm hearing they are finding parties who can run their service centers. So, uh, not sure, but I heard my TVS or bike or something. There are some startups which Ola is trying to reach up to manage their service centers, and they're doing the numbers because practically everything is online. The experience centers are fine, but if you really go to any service center or even in experience centers, you'll see a lot of vehicles being stranded there because of parts, because of quality, because of service. So Ola is a company which works on hypes than actual strengths. So अगर वो शेयर मार्केट बढ़ाना है तो कुछ ना कुछ एक स्टोरी नहीं पैदा करके कुछ ना कुछ PR मीडिया चेंज करके they'll work on the share market. But on the ground reality, but lucky for them, they are still able to sustain the numbers they are doing, because as per me, it shouldn't have happened. अगर कोई
Right.
नॉर्मल लेगेसी प्लेयर होता जिसकी इतनी कंप्लेंट्स आ रही होती, कस्टमर गाड़ी खरीदना बंद कर देता. My thinking, but they are still able to manage with the kind of hype they have created around Bhavesh and Ola.
Right. So again, the new thing about the new buzz about Ola was the new gigafactory of the cells that they were making, right? So, like, how important it is for Indian players to make these batteries in-house? Like, is it a necessity, or do you think it's just a like it's good to have, not need to have kind of thing?
I feel it is not even good to have. See,
Okay.
everybody has a core competency. Uh, Even today, if a OEM is making a product which is being sold at 10 lakh basic price, I'm not talking about GST. Out of the 10 lakh, even 5 lakh, they are actually shelving out to their component suppliers. So they can become component suppliers also. Why can't they have that capacity? And as of today, all OEMs are sitting with a huge pile of cash. You must be having a report better than me that how much cash Maruti is sitting on, or Hyundai is sitting on, or a Tata or a Mahindra is sitting on. They could easily form. And today also, wherever they make the factory, they give the land to component suppliers to make their factories there. Which means the land is there. Why can't they set up some plant which is cheaper than how they make a vehicle? But the point is, you can't enter every field. You can't start from making a nut to an engine to body and then assemble it and sell it, because then your core is out of your hand. So uh, I'm not, again, not commenting on Ola, because sometimes I don't see sense in their decision. So like, there are OEMs, I'm not saying, there are OEMs who have set up a separate unit to make a battery, make cells or make battery as an export unit, as an even selling it to domestic, but not all. I don't feel it makes senses. So like, semiconductor shortage came, there were a lot of questions to me, why not OEMs get into semiconductor? But what's the cost of semiconductor in a vehicle to put so much money there? So like, I was told by an OEM, yeah, pre-GST semiconductor never came as a topic to discuss in any small meetings also. Forget about board meetings. So which changed after COVID. So same as cells and batteries. See, to really become master of a product, and that to a product which is so prone to fire, prone to safety. Next time somebody can say, why can't an OEM make diesel or petrol also? Because that's the similar thing what battery is. So I don't agree with this step. Maybe he's successful, all it will be good for India, but I don't think so. This is not good to have. You should have their own. So like, as of today, if you see, most of OEMs are using BYD's blade battery or what something. So BYD has mastered that. So you have to master how can you use that BYD battery to give the best result out of your product. That is your forte to do. That is your R&D to do. My take, but it can be
Right.
different by people.
Right. So you have like hit a right side. So the next question or the next part of the session where we want to deep dive is the ancillary part of the auto ecosystem, right? Because
Okay.
we only have handful of OEMs. Again, it's very competitive, but only handful. But still there are a lot of ancillary space. So as an investor, first basic question is, right, to how many ancillary supply to one OEM? So suppose if we are Maruti Suzuki, so how many ancillary vendors could be there with their own expertise which supply to Maruti Suzuki, and how Maruti Suzuki decide a ancillary player.
Not my forte, very frankly.
Okay.
But normally, what we take it like is that tier one suppliers are the suppliers who give directly the OEM, and then tier two, tier three suppliers are the whom they give it to the tier one suppliers. Which, so not everything. So slowly and steadily now, aggregates are being made by the suppliers, component manufacturers, and given to the OEM. So it is not like that if somebody is buying uh, a suspension, so he's buying a nut separate and the arm separate and then assembling it. So there are suspension component suppliers who is completing the suspension and giving. So like if a steel supplier is supplying the hood, the all the parts which are needed for the hood comes fitted by the that steel supplier or hood supplier, whosoever it is. So normally there are 10 to 15 suppliers who are aligned directly with OEM. Those 10, 15 suppliers have at least, depending on the complexity of the part they make, around all put together around 50 to 60 more suppliers being aligned to that. If you talk about total, it would be some um, 70, 80 odd supplier directly or indirectly being aligned to an OEM. And maybe that tier 2, tier 3 suppliers will have some more suppliers. So it's like that story which comes like hierarchy, ऊपर से नीचे छोटे से बड़ा. And becoming a ancillary, a tough question to answer. I don't know. There was a time, so like if somebody is opening up a factory and you know him, and in the initial stages you join, and that's the way you enter. Later, it's very difficult. No OEM wants to shift out of the brands which are already a component supplier to some brand. So maybe if Mahindra wants to add a wire supplier, and you are a wire supplier and supplying to 2, 3 OEMs, it will be easy to talk to Mahindra and enter. But if you want to enter into making wire for Mahindra, I feel not a right. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, not my forte, but it's tough to go ahead because you're talking about component supplier. And sometimes people were needing the CII, which we say at dealerships, the furniture and all that. Some supplier approached me to get him enrolled to one of the OEMs. But because he was a new supplier, that OEM didn't agree. You have to be supplying to 1 or 2 OEMs to get into another OEM. So it becomes very different, a difficult thing to enter an OEM unless and until you have a big uh, back support or a thing to tell where are you employed today.
Right. So there is one question from the Q&A, right? Any views on Tata Motors specifically after demerger? So are
A
we
very difficult answer to give because even Tata didn't think that with the company which they thought will grow has degrown and the company which thought will degrow is grown in the share market. So a difficult answer. Even Tata people are confused what happened. Pre-launch, they thought that what has happened today will be the opposite. But I feel it will stabilize slowly and steadily. They are working towards JLR very well. No doubt, it's not a small term thing. But I feel within an year, you will find JLR uh, out of whatever problems they've gone through. And then Tata will see. And frankly, uh, Tata has also stabilized India market by around 50,000, what they've done. EVs, they are doing good. With the separation of the company, the focus of the senior ups as also will now change. Already the verticals were different, but still there was some uh, synergies in between, which has now become separate. So it will give a better result today. But I don't see anything major happening in short term. Long term, it can be good. It will be good, but not for short term as of now.
right? So we also had one more question. So there is a transition in it's regarding the wheels of the cars, right? So there is a transition going from steel wheels to alloy wheels, right? So basically premiumization is going on. And so there is a whole new area regarding aluminum knuckles. So do you have any views here? Like the question is regarding the transition of the wheels.
See, as of now, it is not mandatorily by the government, and everything happens with regulation. So if the weight of the car and the cafe norms doesn't mandate them to shift to alloys or something, and the cost is huge from steel to alloys. If you talk about all these knuckles and all that, the cost is huge. And passing on that cost to customer, will the customer accept it? That is the question today. Till the time it is not mandatory, it will come in the top models and all that. And what we have seen slowly and steadily, most of the OEMs are selling good alloys from the accessories department, accessories vertical. And that's also a good benefit for the car dealers also, because they also earn out of that. They earn more than what they, the a percentage is more than what they earn in selling a car. I don't see this happening 100% in near future, because this is not mandated, or this is, so practically this is not very much uh, it's not a safety thing or a required thing. It's more of a you can say a exterior look thing than a benefit thing. So unless and until there is a big benefit which gets to OEM or the customer, this will be a voluntary thing for customers to buy. If they want a top model, they'll get those things, or else. So like Mahindra has these nuts which come for the spare wheel and all the wheels. One single nut which we can put in, which is locked. So if you have left the car somewhere, nobody can open your car, because it has a lock inside which you have to open. There are no takers in the market as of now, as from the dealership. We thought it's a real big the idea, because a lot of Mahindra products has a wheel on the back which anybody can open, and you have seen people putting in a lock and all those things. So I'll not say invented, they launched it, but it wasn't acceptable in the market. So I don't see customers wanting to pay extra for all these things unless it is mandated or it has some benefit.
Right. So there is again a few questions regarding lot of competition in two-wheeler space, like the smaller players like Ampere, etc., and multiple startups are also coming in. So can we have a similar competition in four-wheeler segment, especially from the Chinese players in forthcoming years?
Till Modi ji is live now. See, I'll tell you very frankly. I have three
Sir,
or four companies which, like GWM, in FADA, we invited them. They gave us the target to setting up dealership, training centers, all those things. And they hired 2, 3 senior Indian auto person. 6 months down the line, they had to close off. I'm hearing Dodge is coming as EV. I'm hearing SAIC also thinking direct. I'm hearing a lot of other things happening. But till that time, uh, I have doubt that this will be taken further, because it's a China versus India story, and it's a tough thing to happen there.
Sir, I just would like to clarify a small part in the question.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ramsey.
Yeah.
What I was trying to ask is, we have seen a lot of proliferation of Indian brands itself within EVs. Ampere is an Indian brand. Upscale startup, right? So similarly, VinFast has started entering into automobiles very recently. So similarly, we've seen a proliferation of four-wheeler EV brands in China. So is that possible in India, that Indian entrepreneurs will be able to start creating new brands and that getting acceptable? How do you see that scenario?
Plus, frankly, talking of Indian auto OEMs now, or somebody else like Reliance or Adani or Ambani.
Yes, Reliance or an Adani are trying to get into a place like this, like we've seen with respect to
So
JSW.
you will find that happening, but not numbers. So China has now, so their list is huge. India won't see that. See, Tata, Mahindra already there, Maruti, Hyundai, Kia already there, there or reaching there. JSW doing great with MG, JSW trying to do direct also. Reliance did give a hint towards that. VinFast, Adani went to VinFast to talk about their India launch. I don't know why it failed. Or is it just a time where Adani makes hand with? So I am hopeful they will come, but I don't see it simulating the China model. There may be one or two more. So there are a lot of startups as of today who are making cars. I don't know how many of you know. There are a small car, a one-seater car being made. a two-seater car being made as a startup in India. But will it be successful? Will it get the production scale? That's a question. It's tough to answer today. Seeing the Indian customer today, but I don't see China thing replicating in India. Adani, Ambani, maybe Birla, but I don't see them also getting into it. They have interest towards it, but getting into cars, pata nahi, not sure.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
So does any, like, we are into the last parts or the minutes of the session. If anyone has any further questions, we can take them. So in the meanwhile, sir, so even in the OEM space, right, for the four-wheeler segment, so how do we see basically, so suppose like post-COVID, Mahindra really picked up into the Indian markets, right?
Yeah.
But before that, there was a game of like Hyundai who was dominating certain space. So how do, as an investor, if you can throw some points that we can check to have a temperature check of the industry, like maybe 1 year down the line, what parameters do we need to track so that we can assess which company can show a really good numbers?
So one, I'll request please follow the space of cafe because that will become huge in coming time. Because if I don't know how much I'm correct, but if cafe was implemented, Mahindra would have to pay 25,000 crores or 2,500 crores to government as a penalty. So cafe still not mandated; it's still voluntary. It is 25,000 per product penalty per vehicle sold penalty is there if you are not meeting cafe norms. But things will change going further. There are a lot of discussion happening. Maruti wanting different things. Non-Maruti people are talking different. One is cafe do follow. On the regulation front, I don't see any OEM getting a hit. Second part, auto industry will grow, and the major thing to follow is their production capacity and their export numbers, which will give you the market. So when I talk from FADA side, I talk about domestic numbers, but when you talk as an analyst or a share market side, it's more of the total production, what they're doing and how much export they're doing. So what gives a big push is that if e-Vitara has been launched and being sold 10,000 per month or 5,000 per month abroad, which means that product is stabilized. So when it comes to India, there'll be less of problems or no problems. So it gives a very big confidence booster coming there. So exports is one thing which you should follow. And obviously Tata and Mahindra are in a back seat as of now, but Mahindra is doing good with Australia, Africa, and one or two more. US they're not doing, but Brazil they are doing good. Tata is not as of now very great doing that, except for JLR. Obviously, they are present. So overall, if I talk about Hyundai is one company to look forward to for the coming 2 to 3 years because Hyundai and Maruti, because they have been constant for the past many years. The growth will come there. So Tata Mahindra has already grown in the past 3 years from 15-20,000 to 50,000, which is a big number. So they again getting that 20 to 50,000 percentage growth in a short term meaning in a year or two will be difficult. So Mahindra going from 50 to 60,000 is given in an year or an year and a half. So that is what we can think of. So tough to answer this question exactly, but you can
No,
analyze further.
yes, that was really helpful.
So
So
Manthan and
last,
Kaustubh, by last 5 minutes. So yeah, over to you guys.
so we can take, if anyone has any question, please raise your hand. Jitendra, if you have any question, please.
Babulal ji had one question previously, so that time sir had dropped. So in case you want to ask.
I see Mr. Vamsi raising the hand, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Vamsi, you can ask your question by unmuting yourself.
Yeah, sir, had one question. So, what do you say the penetration of EVs in overall Indian market in the 10 years coming down the line? So, do you see it to reach to meaningful 20-30%, or it'll still hover around like below 10%? I'm talking
Uh,
about cars.
cars.
Yeah.
10 years, you will see 30% coming in. Not by 2030. 2030, government has given some indication. They say they have not. They have given some indication of 30%, but I don't see happening there. Uh, 15 to 20% is what I'm looking at 2030. But if you're talking of 2035, I'm sure you will get 20 around 25 to 30%. But I'm not sure which EV we are talking of today. Is it lithium-ion battery or is it sodium battery or what battery? So we'll see a lot of battery innovation happening also going further. So that could be different, but yes, EVs will grow till 2035.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
So, in case we don't have any question, we can wrap up this session. Rohit has raised his hand. Please feel free and ask your question, Rohit.
Right. Gulati sir, it was a good session overall.
Thanks.
Thank you for having a session. And when we see your numbers of, I mean, you're telling of EVs penetration until 2013 35. So what about the infrastructure for the EV, as in the charging points, those related kind of companies which will come into the charging of EV infrastructure?
So Rohit, very frankly, I feel the other side, charging is actually a myth what we have created by us, that a customer uh, has a range anxiety and all that, because nobody drives so much what you want from the EV today. Coming to your question, uh, there are a lot of startups who are doing awesome with the OEMs coming into EV. So like Maruti has said, they'll launch the e-Vitara when they have 1,000 charging point in their dealerships. Then only they'll come in. And obviously Maruti doesn't have a charging point company. So there'll be somebody, some startup which will see. And there are a lot of startups which is coming, charging and all that. A lot. You can better, you know better than how many are there. So you'll see a lot of charging infrastructure in the system. Uh, Talk of 2035, if what I'm saying is really true with 30%, you can actually see at least 35-40% of petrol station having EV charging station. Uh, Today we have what in an auto space, the car dealership, we have somewhat uh, 10,000 outlet. Out of those 10,000 outlet, you'll see at least 5 to 6,000 outlets having more than 60 kilowatt charging. Could be 120, could be 180. Mahindra is now trying to put in 180 chargers at many places. They've started, they've done two. They are working on it more, increasing. So 2030 only, you will see a lot of OEMs having good range of EVs with them. And uh, the day we have it at a showroom, we'll have to have it at a workshop, all the location, the charging points for the customers. So I don't see the charging infrastructure as a problem another 2 year down the line, not 2035. I'm saying not even 2 year down the line. The way things are going, that will be a discussion of past 2 year from today. Why I'm saying 2 year, Hyundai will be there, Maruti will be there, Mahindra Tata is already there. And with so many OEMs and with so many locations having charging infrastructure, and they are open to charge products for other OEMs also. It is not like, so Mahindra is putting up where any OEM, any vehicle can come and charge. So that will all help the market.
Okay, sir. But as in I was searching on the web, when we go for the commercial charging, it is as equivalent to having a diesel vehicle. Any does this actually push these EV sales into the industry, or this because commercial charging will always cost us higher than the personal chargings we have at our homes. We as we own an EV vehicle.
But very frankly, running an EV vehicle will always be cheaper than diesel vehicle. It's the issue what the charging time is. So as of today, if you are driving somewhere, you need diesel, you will take what? Diesel or fuel, you would want what? Less than a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. For charging, you need at least, if it's a very fast charger, 20 minutes to 45 minutes. And there was a research, I don't have the data as of now, but 85-90% of personal users charge vehicle at their home. Only 10% charge outside, which means for 10% there'll be not a major issue. I'm not talking about commercial vehicles because commercial vehicles are a different breed. Talking about personal, most of the people charge the vehicle in the night, even if it is needed or not. So I don't see that a deterrent. But yes, people who drive a lot, it could be a deterrent. But as of today, the overall cost is so less as compared to diesel or a regular fuel vehicle that people are accepting that cost if need be, because it's not their daily way of charging.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, with that, we will take the last question from Arnav, right? Because it's already 90-minute session. Yeah.
Hi Vinkesh, sir. Hope you're
Hi,
doing good.
Yeah, good, good.
Yeah, so I wanted to understand the other green alternatives. So mostly, do you see commercial vehicle adopting green hydrogen? Because I like mobility, like longer mobility is an issue currently with EVs. So I mean, I think a lot of people have spoken about it, and I see that there have been some developments also going on by Tata. Like a lot of players are trying to do pilot projects on that. And also about your outlook on biofuel. Do you see that and like alternate fuels? Not only 20%, but going beyond that, like basically the hybrid cars that I'm talking about. Uh, do you see how is the ground report on these two
So,
developments?
starting with commercial, it's still a confused state. We don't know what is happening. There are still trials going on for battery trucks also, and the swappable trucks and all that. There are things. So as of today, we don't have a proof of concept of a commercial product with a different fuel than what it is we have today. No doubt, hydrogen is being worked uh, as a major thing, and there were a story that Reliance is working on hydrogen, which means they imply some 50,000 to a lakh trucks every day, and those will be shifted to hydrogen, or else they'll not get business from Reliance. We have heard all those story, but it was 2 years back, and they are still working. But there is nothing on the ground which can be commercialized. There are stray cases where people are trying and doing things. EV trucks also and hydrogen trucks also. But will it be a normal vehicle where a customer can be sold across the counter? That's where I don't think so. Something happening in a real near future. No doubt, something will happen. There are a lot of innovation being driven towards that. Something will happen, but I don't think anything happening in a year or two in a major way. What was the second question I forgot? So
Yeah, then do
hybrid.
you see a economy emerging from hybrids if these two technologies
No,
are?
no. I don't see it. Because hybrid actually is being a baby of Japan only. Unless and until all the OEMs work from that commercial passenger vehicle, I don't see hybrid taking a major the form of engine or aggregate or an energy going further. It will be
So
present at the time those two players or other players who are interested in it say.
in that case, like, shall I infer that the government, the only step left for the government to bring down your carbon carbon will be in the form of biofuel mix. That's the only thing that they can do.
See, I'm not sure. E20 is doing good. Biofuel, they are working on it. We don't have a lot of product as of now which do with biofuel. But yes, there is R&D going on. Government is interested to implement biofuel a lot. Uh, Brazil is the only company which has done a mixture of 27%. So When I talk about normal fuel, I'm not talking about 100% biofuel. So there are cases where still things are going on, but nothing is still proved. So coming 0 to 5 years, you will see a lot of concepts coming in, a lot of things happening, because pollution and all those things are is a huge problem in India. And let's hope we get some ideas and some implementable commercial ideas to go ahead with it.
Just one
Right.
more question.
So
A lot of
Arnav,
just one sir. It's just a small question, sir. Should I link ethanol blending like directly proportionally to the pollution? So if I blend 20% 20% ethanol, am I bringing down pollution by 20%, or is it a better factor?
No, not 20%. It's something less. I know I'm not technically
Okay.
don't know that. Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Arnav, and thank you, Vinkesh, sir. I mean,
Thank you
we
very much.
extended some time, but it's always engrossing asking questions. So, thank you so much for your time. So, Kaustubh and Manthan, anything on closing remark?
No, nothing. Thank
Yeah,
you
it was a
so much,
wonderful
Vinkesh,
session,
sir.
sir. Thanks for just 1 minute, Manthan. Thank you, sir. So it was a wonderful session, and got a lot of insights on beyond the numbers and beyond just the few OEMs that we can know and track. So certainly a wealth of knowledge shared, and would of course like to connect again. Yes, Manthan.
Yeah, same thing from my side, right? It's very good to understand from the other part of the thing, what's happening on ground, rather than just looking at some reports and making decisions. Thank you so much, Vinkesh.
Thanks everybody.
Perfect.
Thanks for calling
Thank you.
to you also.
Thank you for your
Perfect.
time.
Thank you, everyone.